Namaste, Vanakkam, and Swagatam to all of you. And here we are with our next episode of Tell Me Appa of season 2. And today we are going to have some tales of Goddess Lakshmi, who's also the Icha Shakti. So it's many of you might be thinking, why are we having the tales of Lakshmi when we are in the second day of Navaratri, which is actually dedicated to Goddess Durga? But for people who don't have an answer to that question, the answer is that last week we had the episode for Goddess Durga, and I don't think it's a problem invoking the other Shakti when one of them is supposed to be worshipped. So we are having our Navaratri Kala Yajna going on. So please join us there also. We are having a lot of fun and we are learning a lot there. So we'll get started with our episode on Goddess Lakshmi, Icha Shakti. So we might as well invoke the energy before we start this episode.
वरलक्ष्मी च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्
So, welcoming you all again to our next episode of Tell Me Appa, and this is going on. And I was having many thoughts of maybe, not having Tell Me Appa for 2 weeks because we are going to have the Navaratri Kala Yajna. But it's very important that we can have this also because this is our storytelling. Because in Navaratri Kala Yajna, it's more of, having the other people come and me and Dr. Sir, we are anchoring it and taking care of the technical part, but still,
She's anchoring, I'm doing the technical behind the scenes part.
So for you all to see the back scene, what's going on, it's me and Dr. Sir handling it. So it's actually a nice way that we can get our family members from Yognat and the Geetananda worldwide family, the people who were not part of the Global Voices, have a chance to be part of the Navaratri Kala Yajna. And for others that I haven't had, we will have upcoming series and different ideas to bring about because we are seeing what you can do best. So that's the main thing. So we'll start with this episode. So for Goddess Lakshmi, well, I don't know, as a small kid, Ammaji has told me that, I have something to do with Lakshmi because there's something about that luck. So maybe we should know who's Goddess Lakshmi and why people worship her. I don't think that's a good question, why people should worship, but always we have a purpose behind everything, don't we? We want something and so we do it. So maybe about that and how she's associated with Lord Vishnu and maybe even Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, if there's any.
Well, I think I would like to start off with that comment you made on what Ammaji used to say. Ammaji has always said that Divya has a blessing that whatever she wants, she gets it. And I remember at a yoga festival on the beach, there was a person doing the Kili Joshiam, which means they use a parrot, and the parrot comes and it takes a card, like a tarot card, and your sort of, good fortune is told by the parrot, the Kili. And I remember that he took this card and then the person said to Divya, you are blessed that whatever you want, you'll always get. And we have always kept with that because the English word luck very much is related to Lakshmi Devi. And Goddess Lakshmi is the benevolent form of the Divine Mother who provides for us. She is constantly providing us with the material needs, fulfilling the material needs so that we can work on other aspects of our life. So, Goddess Lakshmi is very much associated with the quantitative aspects. So, when we talk about the right and left brain, I often say the right brain is Saraswati, left brain is Lakshmi. Because right brain is qualitative, that is more Saraswati nature. Left brain is more quantitative, which is Lakshmi nature. Goddess Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance, prosperity, and abundance. And abundance is required for the sake of conservation, sustenance, and maintenance. Any project that begins needs to be sustained and maintained, and that takes great finances. So, Lakshmi is wedded to the energy of Mahavishnu because Lord Vishnu is the maintenance engineer. He has to keep things going. Brahma starts things, Shiva is the one who ties the final pieces together and completes it so that next cycle can occur. In between Brahma and Shiva, Vishnu has to keep things going. He has to sustain and
That's
maintain.
quite hard, actually.
Very difficult.
Maintenance is, I would say, maybe the most hardest.
In fact,
You
I
can
think
start and end, but maintaining and continuing.
absolutely so true. I think often what we call annual maintenance contract, AMC, those AMCs are usually the cost of it over a few years is usually more than the cost of the actual equipment because it takes so much money to maintain it and keep it going. So no wonder that Indian culture put Lakshmi and Vishnu together. She becomes Vishnu Patni. She is the consort of Lord Vishnu. So the energy of conservation, sustenance, maintenance, and preservation is given the abundant energy of Lakshmi to provide for it. And it is said that goddess Lakshmi, she came out when the churning of the Milky Way was done. There is a story in our culture of a time where the Devas and the Asuras, the gods and the demons, they came together to churn the ocean. The Pal Kadal, which is the Milky Way, was churned by the gods and the demons. And they were looking for Amrita. They wanted the nectar of immortality. That was the aim of the whole process. Devas on one side, Asuras on the other side. And in order to churn, they used Vasuki, the king of the serpents, as the rope, and they used the Mount Mandara Malai as the churning, equipment. So you had the mountain, you had the rope, and that is the time Lord Mahavishnu takes on the Kurma Avatara and comes as a tortoise to prevent the sinking down of the Mandara mountain. It's a very beautiful story, in fact. Now,
We'll
why?
be seeing that in the broadcast also.
Yes.
If you want to see the visual part, join us for the Lakshmi broadcast, which will be on the third day of Lakshmi.
Absolutely.
In our Navaratri series.
The third day of Durga will have the episodes, excerpts from our dance drama. So similarly, the third day of Lakshmi will have this story and you will see it. Now what happens is during this churning, many things come up, good, bad, ugly. And one of the things that comes out is the goddess Lakshmi. So it is said that she comes out of this churning of the Milky Way. Later on, of course, the Amrita comes and the Hala Hala, the poison which Lord Shiva swallows. Now, goddess Lakshmi is associated with Vishnu, and whenever Vishnu would take an avatar, she would also be coming down to be with him. So, when we talk about Krishna or Rama, we are talking of their consorts who are the incarnations of Lakshmi herself. And Lakshmi is often called Shri. Shri meaning the auspiciousness. So she is the provider of the auspiciousness in our life. And in fact, Lord Venkatesha at Tirupati is called Srinivasa. Srinivasa, because in his heart, he has Shri. Srinivasa. And a beautiful song is there on Venkateshwara, which says, Srinivasa Devu Venkadam Udayai Jaya Govinda Mukunda Ananda Srinivasa. Similarly, in a beautiful composition made by Rajaji, Kurai Ondrum Illai Maraimurthy Kanna Kurai Ondrum Illai Kanna Kurai Ondrum Illai Govinda கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நிற்கின்றாய் கண்ணா, கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நின்றாலும் எனக்கு குறை ஒன்றுமில்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா. வேண்டியதை தந்திட வெங்கடேசன் என்றிருக்க வேண்டியது வேறில்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா. மணிவண்ணா மலையப்பா கோவிந்தா கோவிந்தா. In that it says, how can I have any need, any wants, any unfulfilled desires? Endrum, because she is there in his heart. குறை ஒன்றும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா. In that a very beautiful கண்ணா, because in that ஏதும் ஏதும் தரணிற்கும் கருணை கடல் அன்னை என்றும் இருந்திட. In your heart, that Shri is always there. So when Lord Vishnu incarnates as Rama, Lord Rama, Lakshmi Devi incarnates as Sita Devi. And this is where Sita Devi is the incarnation of goddess Lakshmi, when Rama is the incarnation of Mahavishnu. Similarly, when Lord Vishnu comes as Krishna, as Rukmini. Now, some people also say that Radha was also a partial incarnation, but Rukmini is accepted as the usual incarnation of Sri Lakshmi in Krishna's life.
What about Satyabhama?
Well, there's always a bit of confusion about this because they keep on saying these are partial incarnations. And when we talk about goddess Lakshmi, even as Sita Devi, there is a train of thought that says that Sita Devi became two versions. One was the real Sita and one was the mirage. That is the clone Sita, cloning in those days. And Ravana actually carries off the clone Sita, not the real Sita. So these type of stories are there, and that is why that clone Sita concept is brought in when we talk of goddess Padmavati as the consort of Lord Venkateshwara. So you have this Bhu Devi and Shri Devi, and that the Bhu Devi, the earth goddess, is more Satyabhama, and Shri Devi is more Rukmini. This is sort of the connotation. There are multiple versions, which is the diversity of India, and that is the strength.
Nothing
Multiple.
is made easy.
Yeah.
It's also
Because these are ideas that are to stimulate your intellectual capacity. Not just that this is the way, obey it, and there's no other way. And that is stupidity. It is like these are the different ways. You find which is true in your perspective. You find which is most applicable in your life and adopt it. That is the a cafeteria approach in Indian culture. There are many, many versions. So, goddess Lakshmi, she signifies the capacity to give. So she is a giver, she is a provider. And this is why in all Indian businesses, you'll always find them, for sure they'll have a picture of goddess Lakshmi with the gold coins raining out of her hand. But what people forget is for the gold coins to come out of Lakshmi Devi's hand, you should earn it. Your self-effort has to be there. And she is the Icha Shakti, yes, but just having Icha Shakti, sitting at home doing nothing, nothing will manifest. So that Icha has to be along with the Kriya, and it has to be along with the Jnana. Then only the abundance will manifest. So Goddess Lakshmi has these type of attributes very much. A very benevolent energy when you think about it. And this is why, though she is benevolent, we talk about the Ashta Lakshmi. Because the 8 number is a number that is related to Lakshmi and is a very strong number of the material world. In Yantra, the yogic science of Yantra, we come to know that the number 8 is very much to do with the material world, the externalized world. And that 8 is associated with goddess Lakshmi Devi and associated with Lord Sri Mahavishnu, whose Moola mantra is the Ashtakshara, Om Namo Narayanaya. The Ashta Akshara, Om Namo Narayanaya, the 8, and the Ashta Lakshmi. And I think one of the very beautiful memories of your childhood is you're always singing the Ashtalakshmi song. And we made it into the dance and all. A very beautiful song where this comes in. Kamala Pushpavasini Govindan Patini. Kamala Pushpavasini Govindan Patini. Gomada Kulamada Gunamada Jaganmada. Gomada Kulamada Gunamada Jaganmada. Kalyani Shubha Kalyani Kalyani Shubha Kalyani Pungudanam Tandiduval Dhanalakshmi Pungudanam Tandiduval Dhanalakshmi Adiyilum Adiyaval Adilakshmi Adiyilum Adiyaval Adilakshmi Mansarikka Dhanyam Tarum Dhanyalakshmi Mansarikka
Dhanyam tarum
Dhanyalakshmi Mayavanam Manamagilum Veeralakshmi
Mayavanamagilum
Veeralakshmi Tadaga Tamarayal Gajalakshmi Tadaga Tamarayal Gajalakshmi Santana Saubhagya Santana Lakshmi Santana Saubhagya Santana Lakshmi Valudane Vetritarum Vijayalakshmi Valudane Vetritarum Vijayalakshmi Ashta Aishwaryam Tarum Aishwaryalakshmi Ashta Aishwaryam Tarum Aishwaryalakshmi Kamala Pushpavasini Govindan Patini
Gomata Kulamata
Gunamata Jaganmata Kalyani Shubha Kalyani Kalyani Shubha Kalyani Shubha Kalyani Shubha Kalyani. The 8 different forms. You have Dhanalakshmi, giving the Dhanam, which is the wealth. You have the Adi Lakshmi, the original source of everything. You have Virya Lakshmi, the Lakshmi who has the courage. Vijaya Lakshmi, the victorious Lakshmi. Gaja Lakshmi with the elephants by her side. You have the Santana Lakshmi giving you the prosperity with the children. And similarly, Virya Lakshmi, Vijaya Lakshmi, Gaja Lakshmi, Santana Lakshmi, Ashta Aishwaryam Tarum Aishwarya Lakshmi, giving you all the auspicious blessings, 8-fold blessings. Such beautiful concepts of the dynamic energies of Lakshmi Devi. And I remember because normally people will always sing this in Kamala Pushpavasini, like that. And then when Divya was a small girl, somehow she started this in this Santana Lakshmi instead of Sun. I cannot even sing it that way now because I have got so brainwashed. That instead of the takita, tam, which is the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, it becomes a takita, tam, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It becomes a 5 rhythm suddenly. So up to that time you have Valudane Vetritarum Vijayalakshmi. That is what you have, that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But here suddenly Santana Saubhagya Santana Lakshmi Santana Saubhagya Santana Lakshmi Valudane Vetritarum. And this became so much part of our Yognath family. I don't think any of us can now sing this song without changing the rhythm, the gati or the nadai at that point. It becomes so much part of it. You know, when I think about the goddess Lakshmi, it's one of the very beautiful names in Indian culture. So many women in India are called Lakshmi, and Lakshmi of different varieties. So you may have Lakshmi, Lakshmi Devi.
Even like Dhanalakshmi, they might even have the type.
Absolutely. Dhanalakshmi, Vijaya Lakshmi, Virya Lakshmi, Vidya Lakshmi. You have all these different names, a part and parcel, that giving that girl child an opportunity to bring abundance to the family and be a blessing for the family. I think this is a very beautiful cultural ethos where, the name of the children is a divine name. When you call that girl, you're saying, hey, Lakshmi, Vama, you are calling Goddess Lakshmi. Though you are calling your daughter, or your granddaughter, or your wife, or whoever it is, you're actually calling the deity, you're calling that energy, that abundance into your life. A very beautiful way. And it is said, Goddess Lakshmi, she will only come where there's light. She doesn't like darkness. And there's a story where there was a woman who was cursed. The family was cursed that they will never have any luck and that Goddess Lakshmi will not visit the house. And they really struggled. Then finally that woman, with her lateral thinking, she got a boon from the king. And the boon was that on that day, that no other house in the town would have a light except her house. And so because no other house had a light and only her house had the light, Goddess Lakshmi had to visit that woman's house, and automatically when Lakshmi comes, prosperity comes, abundance comes. These are the type of stories that tell us that we often say, oh, it is my fate, my talayeruthu, my vidhi, it is written on my forehead, but we can change it. It is said, vidhiyai madiyal velalam. You can change your fate by your intelligence. That is what the lateral thinking teaches us through these stories. And similar stories are very abundant about this energy of Goddess Lakshmi, who is the energy of prosperity.
So, can you think of any other song, maybe just to end?
Yeah, no, there is the very popular song which again you sing a lot, the Bhagya, the Lakshmi. Maybe you would like to sing it and I will just come along with it.
Maybe not the whole one, we might just...
Actually, there's also one of my favorite songs was from Papanasan Sivan, which I then modified for a dance drama. Pakadal tarum kripakarim Parindu vandemmayadavi Amba pakadal tarum kripakarim Parindu vandemmayadavi பங்கஜமல வளஅண்ணையே கடைக்கண் பார் ராமதாசன் பணியும் பங்கஜமல வளஅண்ணையே கடைக்கண் பார் ராமதாசன் பணியும் மகாலட்சுமி ஏம் ஜெகன்மாதா மணமிறங்கி வரமருள் மகாலட்சுமி. She is in the Pankaja Malar, the red lotus. Red or pink lotus is for Goddess Lakshmi, prosperity, abundance. Whereas Saraswati has the white lotus, the purity of knowledge, the purity of wisdom, the purity of the fine arts, is in the Ventamarai. Here it is Sentamarai. Sentamarai means the reddish, pinkish lotus. And even that is why she is called Thirumagal. Thirumagal is that auspiciousness. And in our Kambli Swami Stuti, we actually have at the last line that Kambli Swami used to live near the pond, the water body that had these lotuses. Thirumagal vilangu sattadamala kayavavi Tigal Pudubai Vellavavi Vaal. There it comes. Thirumagal vilangu sat tadamala kayavavi. In those ponds which have the lotuses, the pink lotuses, in which Thirumagal, Goddess Lakshmi, is living. Tigal Puduvai Vellavavi Vaal. That Pondicherry was the flourishing city because of that. I don't know if Pondicherry flourishes much now because we have filled up all the water bodies with buildings, so there are no lotus ponds anymore. So without the lotus pond, whether Lakshmi Devi will be there, I don't know. But that is how we talk about it. Thirumagal Vilangusat. And such a beautiful concept that on the lotus, what is a lotus? It is untouched by the water in which it resides. The lotus starts at the deep Tamasika mud, comes through the Rajasika water, and it opens towards the sattvika light, the luminosity. That is the type of energy we want to manifest within us. When it is the red lotus, the pink lotus, goddess Lakshmi comes alive through our life. I think the Bhagya the Lakshmi would be a good song for us to end with. Just a few lines.
Bhagya the Lakshmi Varamma, Bhagya the Lakshmi Varamma, Nammam Mani Saubhagya 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 the Lakshmi Varamma. ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುದ ಗೆಜ್ಜೆ ಕಾಲ್ಗಳ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಮಾಧುರ ಸಜ್ಜನ ಸಾಧು ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ ಮಜ್ಜನೆಯೊಳಗಿಣಿ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆಯಂತೆ ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ, ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮಣಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ.
Beautiful. It's a very beautiful song, one of the most popular songs in our musical traditions in India, and bringing out these wonderful energies of Goddess Lakshmi. And during Navaratri, the first 3 days are for Durga, the next 3 days for Lakshmi. So, you're going to come into that from Tuesday onwards and be with us during the wonderful sessions, the Navaratri Kala Yajna that Divya is hosting with our family, the Gitananda family from all over the world, and enjoy all of these wonderful sharing opportunities, because sharing is caring. So keep sharing, keep caring, and let's keep growing and glowing with these beautiful concepts.
The concept that we had come about yesterday, I don't know why it didn't come up before, that in Navaratri time we all go and visit our relatives, we visit our friends and all that, we go and see their Golu and all of that. But after we had a wonderful presentation and session with Tejasvi, and she had showed us her Golu, it was like, we had gone to her house and she was describing it. So through this Navaratri, like we have now visited Tejasvi, who's in Mumbai, and then we have visited Geetananda Ashram in Italy, because we heard the chanting and then Atmananda's dancing. And we have much more to come. Like tonight we have Sangeeta, who's going to be singing. So we have much more to come, as you all would have seen the schedule. So yeah, stay with us, and you'll be seeing us tonight at 7:30, quite soon. And as always, next week we'll be having our episode on Goddess Saraswati, and it's our lucky day as we are able to have our episode of Saraswati on Saraswati Puja, which usually doesn't happen, and that's why we are keep pushing up. And then we have our Saraswati Puja, and then we have Vijayadashmi coming up, and this whole Navaratri Kala Yajna, it's really bringing us all together. We are visiting each other, and it's just so nice, isn't it? Like even through online we can do so much, but still it's not as offline, but something.
See, even in this time of social distancing, which is physical distancing, we can have the social interactions in this way. And Navaratri is a time for social interaction. And so think of all of this as a nice way of socially interacting with each other. And I think that is so important for our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Human beings are social animals. We need to interact. And even if we cannot do it physically, let us do it through the electronic media, using this media in the proper way. As Swamiji would tell us, righteousness is yoga. Using every medium as it should be used in the best way possible to enhance health, wellness, harmony, and a sense of great oneness amongst our community worldwide.
So join us every day at 7:30 p.m. for the Navaratri Kala Yajna. And next week, Tell Me Appa. And of course, Tell Me Appa will be going on. And who knows, we might have another series on the way. So keep up with us And see you all soon and love you all and take care.